Previously on Left Behind.
Anything involving Carpathia is a big risk.
But that's the thing. I don't have a choice. Until he proves otherwise, I'm going to have to trust Nikolai Carpathia.
Mr. Williams, two gentlemen with whom you were associated, have met with an untimely demise here in London. I would appreciate the opportunity to ask you a few questions.
So you deny having a business rival murdered and using intimidation and powerful friends in America to usurp the president's authority in Romania?
Our former president asked me to replace him for personal reasons.
Are you watching Nightline?
As a matter of fact,
I have got to meet this guy, Rayford. I have to.
This is my passion. I will work for peace.
Based on the best-selling novel, Tyndale House Publishers proudly presents Episode 8 of the dramatic audio edition of Left Behind.
You know, I wouldn't do this for just anybody, kiddo. I don't know how long I convinced them I'm pretending to be you, pretending to be George Oreskovich. So don't get lost on the way over, okay?
Relax, Steve. Just check in at the plaza and tell them you have an appointment with Carpathia. We'll just assume you'll be arrested and, well, we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Taxi?
Hey, taxi.
You have my ID, right?
Yeah, right here.
I'll see you over there, kid.
Yeah, maybe. Plaza Hotel. Oh, but do me a favor, hang tight for a few seconds.
You waiting for someone?
It's more of a timing thing.
Whatever, but I'm starting the meter.
Hey, Buck. Eric Miller, Seaboard Monthly.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Good to see you.
Hey, what's going on? The cops just hauled your boss out of here claiming he was you.
Do me a favor. Sit on this for at least a half an hour. You owe me that.
I owe you nothing, Williams. But you look scared enough.
I'll tell you all about it later, okay?
You're trying to get to Carpathia, you can forget it. He's not giving any more interviews tonight.
Is he back?
He's back, but he's incommunicado.
Hello?
Hi, it's Cameron Williams. May I come up?
What?
Cameron, I can't keep up with you. First you're dead, then you're alive. We just got a call that you'd been arrested and would be questioned about a murder in London.
Hi, I have to move quickly. I'm gonna be using the name Plank, all right?
I'll arrange it. You come here, room 715.
Okay, I'll be right up.
All right, what's going on?
Not now. I have an appointment.
Not so fast. I'm coming too.
Sorry, folks. This car's malfunctioning. Try the next one, please. Thank you. Listen, Miller. I told you I'd call you when the time is right. If you're gonna try to horn in on this, I'm gonna leave you dry.
All right, Buck. Lighten up.
Yeah, I lighten up and you'll come snooping around.
Yeah, that's my job. What's got you so...
It's my job, too. But I don't follow other people's leads. I make my own.
You interviewing Carpathia? Just tell me that.
No. I'm risking my neck to see if Elvis is hanging out in the penthouse.
So it is Carpathia.
I didn't say that.
Come on, man. Let me in on it. I'll give you anything.
You said yourself Carpathia wasn't giving any more interviews tonight.
And he's not. To anybody except networks and national outlets, so I'll never get to it.
That's your problem.
Come on, Buck.
I'm gonna say this one more time. Get out and don't follow me. Do you understand?
Ow, okay. You don't have to be a goon about it.
Get out! Come on!
Yes, my name is Steve Plank. I have an appointment.
Mr. Rosenzweig is waiting for you, sir.
Wait a minute. I'm Plank. Here are my credentials. This man is an imposter.
You'll both have to wait here while I call the house detective.
Just call Rosenzweig and have him come out here. He'll know who's telling the truth.
Hey, come back here!
Miller, you idiot, stop! You are such a clown! You really think Rosenzweig would let a stranger into his room?
I can sweet talk my way into any place. You do the same thing.
Yeah, well, problem is I already did. Now beat it.
I just got one question for him.
No, you don't.
Both of you stay put. We'll let the old man decide.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Pardon me.
Mr. Carpathia, sir! I mean, President Carpathia!
Oh, hello, Mr. Williams. Or should I say Mr. Oreskovich? Or should I say Mr. Plank?
Eric Miller from Seaboard Monthly.
I know it, Mr. Miller, but I am late for an appointment. If you will call me tomorrow, I will talk to you by phone. Would that be agreeable to you?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir! Thank you, Mr. Carpathia, sir.
I thought you said your name was Plank.
Come in, Buck. That is what they call you, is it not?
Yes, it is. How did you... Not even Dr. Rosenzweig knows that, sir.
Come in, Buck. Come in.
So the Old Testament wasn't nullified, it was fulfilled in the person of Christ. Now that's very important to understand because we're literally living in a time prophesied in the Old Testament. Now, from my study, I believe soon we're going to see 144,000 Jews come to Christ and begin to evangelize around the world. Excuse me, Rayford, I couldn't help but notice there. You seem a little troubled.
I was just thinking about my daughter. And... yeah, never mind.
No. This is good, Ray. Tell the group here your concerns. I mean, that's why we're here.
Flight attendant I know. I wanted to explain my faith, and I wanted Chloe to hear it as well, but I...
Rayford, it seems like sharing your faith should be easier than ever, right? But well, I'd run into the same kind of resistance.
Well, it's really hard when it's your own daughter.
What do you say we pray right now for Rayford, for Chloe, and for the flight attendant too? What was her name?
Hattie.
Father in heaven, your children cry out to you right now for help. Lord, we don't know the right words, but we know you love Chloe and Hattie more than we ever could, so we pray that you would draw them to you by your power and open their hearts to the truth, that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
Make yourselves comfortable, gentlemen.
I do not need to be here, Nikolai.
Oh, nonsense, Doctor. You do not mind, do you, Buck?
Not at all.
You do not mind my calling you Buck, do you?
No, sir. But usually it's just people over at Global.
Your magazine, yes, I know. They call you that because you buck the traditions and conventions. Am I right?
Yes. But how in the world
Buck,
did you...
This has been the most incredible day of my life. I have felt so welcome here, and the people have seemed so receptive to my proposals. I am overwhelmed. I shall go back to my country a happy and satisfied man, but not soon. I have been asked to stay longer. Did you know that?
I heard.
It's amazing, is it not, that all the international meetings right here in New York over the next few weeks are about the worldwide cooperation I am proposing?
It is, and I've been assigned to cover them.
Then we will get to know each other better. I had hoped we would not be disturbed. Would you like something to drink?
There is a phone
soda,
call for Mr.
juice, or perhaps a
Carpathia.
cocktail?
I don't
No,
think
I'm fine.
Doctor,
But if it's okay, I'll get my recorder ready.
Oh,
You don't mind if I tape this, do you?
wait just a moment.
Not at all.
Cameron will have to give him a couple of minutes for an important phone call.
Oh, no, I will take it later.
Sir,
this meeting is a priority for
Beg
me.
your pardon. It is the President
The President?
of the United States.
Excuse me, I'll step outside.
No. Please stay. I am not such a dignitary that I would not share this honor with my old friend and my new friend. Sit down. This is Nikolai Carpathia speaking.
Mr. Carpathia, this is Fitz. Gerald Fitzhugh. You know who I am?
I certainly do, sir. I am honored to hear from you.
Well, it's good to have you here. You pretty much took over the evening news tonight.
I want to thank you for your note of congratulations on my presidency, sir, and your immediate recognition of my administration.
Boy, that was an incredible thing, the way you took over there. I wasn't sure what had happened at first, but I don't suppose you were either.
That is exactly right. I'm still getting used to it.
Well, take it from a guy who's been in the saddle for 6 years, you don't ever get used to it. You just develop calluses in the right places, if you know what I mean.
Yes, sir, yes.
Listen, the reason I called, I know you're going to be here a little longer than you expected, so I want you to spend a night or two here at the White House. Now, can you do that?
I am overwhelmed at such a privilege.
Well, I'll have somebody talk to your people about the right time. But it's got to be soon, because Congress is in session, and I know they'll want to hear from you.
I would be more than honored, sir.
Hey, that speech you gave at the UN today, well, that was something. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Well, the feeling is mutual, sir. Thank you for calling.
All right, then. Goodbye.
Well, now.
It is not every day you take a call from the most powerful leader in the world, my friend.
What a wonderful honor. And now, Buck, I want to answer all your questions and give you whatever you need. You have been so good to Chaim, and I am prepared to give you a bit of a secret. You would call it a scoop. But first, you are in deep trouble, my friend. I want to help you.
How do you know I'm in trouble?
Buck, tell me about why the authorities desire your arrest.
And that's the extent of it. I'm pretty concerned about being extradited for something I didn't do, and winding up dead like a number of my associates. And quite frankly, sir, your connection with Stoneagle and Todd Cothran made me just a bit nervous.
But you came anyway. Apparently, you trusted me.
I didn't feel I had a choice.
You made a good decision.
Nikolai, they have discovered that Buck is in the hotel and want to take him into custody. They have requested your help.
I see. Buck, your plan to get in the hotel was most ingenious, but your superior has been identified. They would like to take you into custody and extradite you overseas.
If that happens and Tompkins' theory is right, I'm a dead man.
I believe I can make this go away for you.
Mr. President, I need your help, but I'm a journalist first. I can't be bought or bargained with.
Oh, of course not. I would never propose such a thing. Let me tell you what I do propose. I will arrange to have the London tragedies re-evaluated, ultimately exonerating you.
You can do that?
If it is the truth.
It is the truth.
Of course.
But how?
Buck, I told you your friend Dirk was wrong about the conspiracy. I am not conspiring with Todd Cothran or Stoneagle or any of the other international leaders I have been honored to meet. However, there are important decisions and actions coming up that will affect them, and it is my privilege to have a say in those developments. Chaim, would you excuse us for a moment?
Certainly.
Look, I'm young, but I've been around the block, and it feels like I'm about to find out just how deep into this thing you really are.
Buck, let me reiterate that we are talking politics, not crime.
Okay, I'm listening.
Secretary General Ngumo presides over a country that is starving. He must devote his time to the problems within Botswana. He will endorse my plan of 10 members in the Security Council.
Are you telling me you'll become Secretary General of the UN?
I would never seek such a position. But how could I refuse the honor?
A wild stab in the dark here, Mr. President. Todd Cothran is in line for a role in your new Security Council.
Would that not be interesting? A non-politician, a brilliant financial mind, one who was wise enough to allow the world to go to a three-currency system that did not include his own pound sterling. The world would have a certain level of comfort with him, would they not?
I suppose they would.
Unless, that is, Todd Cothran were in the middle of a mysterious suicide, a car bombing, that sort of thing. I should think a man in a position of international potential like that would want a very clean house just now.
And you could manage that?
Buck, you overestimate me. I'm just saying that if you're right, I might try to stop what is clearly an unethical and illegal action against an innocent man. I cannot see how there is anything wrong with that.
Dear God, I know Irene and Ramey are better off than they've ever been, but it hurts so much. I know you've forgiven me for for ignoring you all those years. Oh, Father, if I could just hold Irene one more time and say how sorry I am. God, take the grief away. Oh, I feel so hopeless about Chloe. God, everything I've said, it feels like she's just getting farther away, and I pray you would draw her to yourself. Chloe. Oh, Chloe.
Dad? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Nightmare?
No, I'm sorry if I woke you up.
I miss them too.
I believe I'll see them again someday.
I know you do. I know you do. Dad, don't worry about me, okay? I'm getting there.
Identity of these two men who refer to each other as Eli and Moshe. They have stood here before the Wailing Wall since just before dawn, preaching in a style reminiscent of old American evangelists. Orthodox Jews charge them with desecrating this holy place by proclaiming Jesus Christ as the fulfillment of the Torah's prophecy of a Messiah. For CNN, this is Dan Bennett in Jerusalem.
In this country, New York is still abuzz following several appearances today by new Romanian President Nicolae Carpathia. The 33-year-old leader wowed the media at a small press conference this morning and followed that with a masterful speech to the United Nations General Assembly. Associates of Carpathia have announced he has already extended his schedule to include several international meetings in New York over the next 2 weeks. In addition, President Fitzhugh has invited him to speak to a joint session of Congress. In other news, over the weekend, CNN reported the death of a Global Weekly writer. Out of New York late this evening comes word that Cameron Williams is, in fact, alive and well. Williams was wanted by both Scotland Yard and Interpol for questioning in connection with the London bombing death. Both agencies have since announced he has been cleared of all charges.
And now your worries are over, Buck.
Mr. President, I'm grateful. But with that phone call, didn't you just confirm Dirk Burton was correct?
I'm not sure I understand.
Stonegal and Todd Cothran on the phone. They call off the Interpol and Scotland Yard, then Stonegal promises his package is secure, whatever that means. It's clear you're tied in somehow with these men.
Mr. Williams, I assure you, I had no prior knowledge.
But now you do know. Can you still, in good conscience, allow Stonegal to help promote you in international politics?
Trust me, I will deal with them both. You have my word. For now, I am glad to have extricated you from a most delicate situation.
And I don't mean to seem ungrateful. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, I need a press secretary.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Well, I'm not your man.
Of course not. I would not have dreamed of asking.
How about the guy in the hall?
The Eric Miller fellow.
Yeah, you'd love him.
And I already told him to call me tomorrow. May I say you recommended him?
Yeah, actually, I was just kidding. He tried to get up here with me, and I had to tackle him. Aggressive, but a loose cannon.
I do not like that kind of behavior.
I'll see if I can think of another candidate for you. Now, you promised me a scoop tonight, sir.
That is true. It is new information, but it must not be announced until I have the ability to effect it.
I'm listening.
Israel is particularly vulnerable, as they were before Russia tried to invade them. They were fortunate that time. But the rest of the world resents their prosperity. They need protection. The UN can give it to them in exchange for the chemical formula that makes the desert bloom. If the other nations agree to disarm and surrender 1/10 of their weapons to the UN, only the UN will have to sign a peace accord with Israel. Their Prime Minister has given Dr. Rosenzweig the freedom to negotiate such an agreement because he is the true owner of the formula. They are, of course, insisting on guarantees of protection for no less than 7 years.
Folks, I'm going to lay it on the line. From my study, I think this period of history we're in right now will last for 7 years. Now, if I'm reading it right, the Antichrist will soon come to power, promising peace and trying to unite the world. But when his true goals are revealed, he'll be opposed. The result? Probably World War III.
I don't think I want to hear this.
I don't want to give you a spirit of fear, but we have to look at the truth. Now, Revelation 11, verses 3 through 14, makes it clear that God's two special witnesses with supernatural power to work miracles will prophesy 1,260 days. And Satan will kill them at the end of 3.5 years. And their bodies will lie in the street of the city where Christ was crucified. But after 3.5 days, they will rise from the dead and ascend to heaven in a cloud while their enemies watch.
Bruce, would that be the two guys on television?
Who else could it be? It hasn't rained in Jerusalem since the disappearances. These men came out of nowhere. They have the miraculous power of saints like Elijah and Moses. And at this moment, the men are still preaching.
The witnesses?
I believe these witnesses will see hundreds of thousands of converts, the 144,000 who will preach Christ to the world. We're on their side. We have to do our parts.
I'll go if you want me to, Dad.
That'd be great. I know Hattie's getting into New York earlier on a different flight, and I'm going to insist on a meeting with her, and I want you there.
For her protection or yours?
Not funny. Look, I've left her a message to meet me at the PanCon Club at JFK at 1 o'clock now. Whether she will or not, I don't know. She has this crazy idea of meeting Nikolai Carpathia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, either way, you and I will get some time together.
Dad, time together's all we've had. I think you'd be tired of me by now.
Don't count on it, daughter of mine.
Yeah, I know.
Come in. Come in!
Mr. Bailey.
Oh, Buck. Sit down there next to your boss.
Steve.
Buckle.
Couple of things, Williams, before I get down to business. You're cleared of everything overseas, right?
Yes, sir. There should have never been any doubt.
Of course not. Of course not. I guess it was smart the way you played this. Sure had us worried.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid that was unavoidable.
But you got it taken care of.
Right.
How?
Sir?
What part of how don't you understand? We got word there were witnesses.
Well, I guess there were others who told the truth.
Well, the news coverage is all vague enough that none of us look bad. Growing up like a simple misunderstanding.
Which it was.
Of course it was. Cameron, I asked to see you this morning because I have some bad news. I've just accepted one of the least welcome resignations I've ever received. Steve here tells me this will be news to you, so let me just drop it on you. He's had another offer, one we can't even come close to matching. And while I don't think it's a good fit, he does, and it's his life.
Really? Time, Newsweek?
Buck, you're looking at the new international press secretary for Nikolai Carpathia.
What? No. Headquartered here, over at the plaza.
Steve, this isn't you. You're not a PR guy.
Hey, wait a minute. Carpathia is no ordinary political leader, kiddo. Opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh, I can't believe it. I knew Carpathia was looking for somebody,
Now,
but...
fess up, Buck. He offered it to you first, didn't he?
No.
He as much as told me he did.
Well, he didn't. Matter of fact, I recommended Miller from Seaboard.
Eric Miller?
Yeah, it was a joke, but he's more the type.
Funny you should mention Eric. They think he fell off the ferry last night. His body washed up on Staten Island. Eric Miller's dead. Left Behind, the dramatic audio edition, is based on the book by Tim LaHaye and Jerry Jenkins and has been adapted for radio by Chris Fabry with music by Steve Wick. Directed and produced by Todd Bastille. The dramatic audio edition of Left Behind is a production of Gap Digital and Tyndale House Publishers. Thank you for listening.